Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kelly Ripa is footloose and earning a fancy fee now. The live co-host has opened up about earning less than Mark Consuelos when they were co-stars on All My Children. He was paid far more than I was paid. Always, Ripa, 52, said of Consuelos, 51, in her cover story interview for Variety's The Power of Woman issue. And he started years after I started. It wasn't until I got what we call my fancy job that I started actually earning more money than him. The TV personality continued. We have been together so long that it's always been collective money. We are very much old-fashioned in that sense. And though Ripa upped her earnings with the live gig, the pay disparity continued on that show, as well. For her part, Ripa said she doesn't blame the fellas she hosted with, including late former co-host Regis Philbin. Instead, she believes that the network had a duty and an obligation to keep all things equal. My male co-hosts were just doing what they had been told, or what they were instructed to do, or what they thought they deserved, she said. Having said that, I go out of my way to protect the people I'm working with at any and all costs. Even if it means that I am not as popular. Ripa says she finally started earning a salary she deemed fair when her bosses at ABC realized her contract was up and that she could leave the show. I don't think they wanted to pay me, she said. I think they had to pay me. She continued. I was trying to walk out the door and close it behind me. And I think they really figured out rapidly that they had screwed up in a major way, and it was not a good look. I think that was really the impetus behind paying me fairly. They had no choice. Ripa and Consuelos met on the All My Children set when she played Haley Vaughn and he portrayed Mateo Santos. Their working relationship quickly turned romantic. And they got married in 1996. They're now parents to 3 kids. Michael, 25, Lola, 21, and Joaquin, 20. As for their professional lives, Consuelos is joining Ripa on Live as Ryan Seacrest's replacement, beginning April 17th. This is going to be amazing. The Riverdale actor wrote on Instagram, reacting to the news. I can't believe after all these years of listening to you talk for free, I found a way to get paid for it. Is this a great country or what? Live with Kelly and Ryan airs weekdays. Check local listings. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos call. Live her fancy job because it's when she started out turning Jimin the world of entertainment. Fame and fortune often go hand in hand but rarely with humility. And yet, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, the daytime power couple known as much for their chemistry as for their candor, have never shied away from the less glamorous truths of show business or marriage. So when the couple jokingly refers to Kelly's long-standing role on Live as her fancy job, it's not just a punchline, it's a landmark moment in their relationship, the turning point when Kelly Ripa, one of daytime TV's most beloved personalities, began out-turning her husband. But this is no Hollywood soap opera. It's a love story told in paychecks, partnership, and plenty of playful banter. The early days. A soap opera romance before Live. Before the big salaries and the New York brownstones, there was All My Children, the iconic ABC soap opera where Ripa and Consuelos first met in the mid-1990s. Ripa had been playing Haley Vaughn since 1990, the spunky daughter of a wealthy Pine Valley family. Mark joined the cast in 1995 as Mateo Santos, Haley's love interest pairing that quickly became a fan favorite. Their on-screen chemistry mirrored real life. Within a year, they eloped to Las Vegas, beginning what would become one of the most enduring marriages in entertainment. I was making more than him even then, Ripa has joked in interviews. But it didn't feel like it mattered. That casual irreverence, her refusal to apologize for her successes. One of the many reasons fans love Kelly Ripa, but it also reveals something deeper about the balance in their marriage. And how that balance would evolve as their careers diverged. From soap star to talk show queen when Kathy Lee Gifford left Live with Regis and Kathy Lee in 2000. The search began for a new co-host to sit alongside the legendary Regis Philbin. Ripa auditioned among a wide pool of talent, and her quick wit, relatability, and sparkling screen presence won her the gig. On February 5, 2001, she officially became co-host of the now renamed Live with Regis and Kelly. And that's when everything changed. I got the job, and all of a sudden, people were treating me differently. She recalled in a 2023 interview. I wasn't just the girl from the soap, I was on a nationally syndicated show. And I started making real money. Like, NETWORK money. It wasn't just a pay bump, it was a financial transformation. Hosting live came with visibility, influence, and a sizable paycheck. Within a few years, Ripa's income had surpassed that of her husband, who was still building his career through roles in primetime TV, film, and occasional guest appearances. My fancy job. How humor helped navigate success. I remember the first time we got into an argument about money. Ripa told Variety. Mark looked at me and said, "Well, you have your fancy job now," and I just burst out laughing. The phrase stuck. To this day, Ripa affectionately refers to her role on Live as her fancy job, a nod to the moment she became the primary breadwinner in the family. But it's more than just a cute inside joke, it's a reflection of how the couple navigated shifting dynamics without ego or resentment. We've always said, whoever makes the money, great. It's all going into the same pot, Consuelos has said. Kelly's success is my success. Still, that kind of attitude doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of decades of mutual respect, open communication, and what both describe as an old-school team-first approach to marriage. People ask us all the time how we've stayed married so long, Ripa said during a segment on Live, and I always say, it helps when you genuinely like each other. And it helps even more when one of you has a really fancy job. Breaking gender norms in a public marriage in Hollywood, and frankly, much of society, there's still a lingering stigma around women earning more than their male partners. Power couples are often celebrated when the man is the star, the millionaire, the alpha. But when the roles are reversed, the narrative can skew awkward or condescending. Not so with Ripa and Consuelos by embracing the shift in their financial dynamic with humor and grace. The couple has quietly challenged outdated gender roles. Ripa's transparency about her earnings, sometimes even bordering on boastful. In the best ways, refreshing in a culture that often encourages women to downplay their success. I like nice things, she once said on Live, and now, I can buy them for myself. That honesty has inspired many fans, especially women, to reconsider what financial independence looks like within a committed relationship. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration. I never felt like I was emasculated by her success, Consuelo said on Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. I was proud. I am proud. She's a badass. Who wouldn't want to be married to a badass? When roles reverse. Again, in a full circle moment, Consuelos officially joined Live as co-host in 2023. After Ryan Seacrest's departure. Suddenly, the couple who had once shared screen time as soap opera lovers were now daytime co-hosts, literally bringing their marriage to the morning coffee crowd. It was a bold move. Not every marriage can survive that level of togetherness, let alone the scrutiny that comes with co-hosting a live television show. But the decision wasn't just strategic. It was heartfelt. I missed working with her, Consuelos admitted. And I thought, why not? Let's try something new. And once again, the phrase fancy job resurfaced. This time in a slightly different context. I always said she had the fancy job, Consuelos teased during one of their first shows together. Now I get to see just how fancy it really is. Shared success, separate strengths. While their professional lives are now more entwined than ever, the couple remains fiercely individualistic. Ripa is the polished broadcaster, the queen of witty comebacks and on-air poise. Consuelos brings a looser, more spontaneous energy, often poking fun at himself or letting Ripa take the reins. They don't compete, they complement. And perhaps that's the secret to making a marriage like there's work under the spotlight. When asked if they ever feel competitive, Ripa responded, only about who gets up earlier to walk the dog. Lessons from a power couple for all the jokes, the earnings, and the airtime. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos' story is not just about success, it's about sustainability, about adapting, evolving, and celebrating each other's wins as your own. And in a culture still catching up with the idea of equality within relationships, they've managed to turn their dynamic into something empowering, aspirational, and above all funny. The money stuff is funny now, Ripa said, but back then, it was kind of scary. I remember thinking, what if I blow this? What if this fancy job goes away? 2 decades later, it hasn't. If anything, the job and the relationship have only grown stronger. Final thoughts. Why fancy matters there. Something quietly radical about the way Kelly Ripa calls Live her fancy job. It's part self-deprecating joke, part feminist flex. It acknowledges the privilege of her position, without minimizing the work it took to get there. And it honors the unique bond she shares with her husband, one built not on rigid roles, but on mutual